Decent, you know.
Correct.
Oh,
We don't know the criminal element.
I'm telling you, Raj.
Well, I cannot change up a program I want to talk about it.
Take your time, man.
No, not ready.
You ready?
Just gonna, while you're talking, I'll do my last bit.
We're looking at 4.5 minutes past 7. Sexplosion starts now with Dr. Raj. Good evening, Dr. Raj.
Pleasant good evening to you.
Yeah.
To all the listeners out there, those of you in your maxis, your taxis, those of you heading home in your car. I know a lot of people are tuning into Power 102 in the evening time. I know it's kind of still early. People still stuck in traffic, heading home, but we're keeping you company. We're here to sexucate you, give you some sex education about yourself, help you to be informed, and make sure you do the right things so that you have a healthy life, a healthy relationship, because sex is an integral part of your relationship. It is the cement that binds your relationship together. It is not the most important things in your relationship, but it is the cement that binds your relationship together. If you have a relationship, you have a closeness with someone, you have a marriage, you have a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, and it's lacking sex, one person will say, "Hayo pancho and away."
Yeah. That's
Either
true.
mentally or physically, but the person is going to be pushed away from you, distant from you. There's going to be a lot of strife and anxiety in the relationship. There's going to be stress. There's going to be quarrel. There's going to be words thrown at one another. So you have to be accusations, all kind of things going to creep into your relationship.
Yeah.
So remember, it is the cement that binds your relationship together. So if you want to hold your relationship, a good sex life is what you need. Now, what is a good sex life? What is a good sex life?
Yeah, explain that to me, man.
A good sex life is when you have the opportunity to perform with your partner and you're able to satisfy your partner. Satisfy your partner's needs and wants when it comes to sex. It's not only your needs, but also the wants. Because when you think about the brain being the largest sex organ, the skin, in terms of surface, is your largest sex organ also.
Yeah.
But we're talking about what your mind could conceive, what you think about, the things that you see in a movie, the things that you hear. It goes into the brain. So sometimes you conjure up in your own mind what it is you would like sexually. Like someone asked me this question today, which was a very important question. What would make a person enjoy spanking? There's no easy answer to that. It could be psychological. It could be physical. But do you know if you enjoy spanking? I'm asking you, David.
No.
You don't. You wouldn't.
Define spanking.
Okay,
first.
somebody to hit you on your buttocks
Yeah.
while having sex, spanking.
But I know people who like
No, but do you know if you like it or don't like it?
But personally, I don't.
Right, because it was done to you. So you know you don't like it. But if it was never done to you, how do you know if you like it or not?
That's right. But there are
So-
people who like you to do them.
Yeah. We're not getting into that.
No, that's an
What we
experience
get
I
in,
had.
but what we getting into
Yeah.
is the fact that if you have never tried something, you don't know if you like it or you don't like it.
That's right, yeah, I agree.
So you don't know if it is in the mind, if it's in the body. Where is it? Where is this thing? All of a sudden, you're 18-year-old person, man or woman, making love. That never came up. Love making might be a quickie, and that's it. You don't know what you like or you don't like. You can't tell me from the first time you made love, you know what you like or you don't like. As you go along and you start seeing things, hearing things, well, of course, I use an 18-year-old, but we know for a fact that a lot of underage persons are watching porn.
Exactly.
We know that for a fact. So we can't bury our heads in the sand and say, oh God, this is a family program. At this hour, at 7:08, we can't be saying that 14-year-old children watching porn. It is a fact. Deal with it.
Yes.
I know 8-year-olds who does watch porn. Their parents will tell you that.
Yeah.
They get caught watching porn. So don't tell me those things don't exist.
I had a video club at one time, and I remember a guy used to bring his entire family to rent movies. Those days, porn was something you have to hide far.
You have to have it under the
So I asked him, why you renting these movies with all this everybody?
children there.
He said everybody had to watch at home, you know. I was saying, my God.
You serious?
Yeah, I serious. He told me that. He said everybody had to watch this, had to know this from early.
Uh-huh.
So I was saying, my God, so I didn't want to rent any movies again, but it was the business.
Wow.
You know, that one shocked me. But I know, as you said, this time at this age, this era we're into.
Once you have a smartphone, you have access to it.
Of course.
There's no getting away from that.
No,
but the point here is that you don't know what you like.
Yeah.
So sometime or some way along the line, you get exposure to something.
Yeah.
A smack on the buttocks while having intercourse or while making love, and you say, that feel nice, boy. Do it again. Or somebody bite you on the nipple or bite you on the chest. Say, wow, that feel good. Do it again. That's how you become initiated into it. And then you will want to go further. But it could be something that you were introduced to you when you were a child by some form of abuse. It could have been something that you saw in a movie or read in a book. Now, we discount reading, you know, but I'll tell you something about reading. In a novel, a good written novel, the description of something sexual could be greater than a movie, you know.
Of course. Yeah.
And many a times, persons read. Well, I don't know if they read as much now as we did before. And they will come across something that they have read. And the description of what was happening to the person, you actually start to feel it. And that is embedded in your mind. So when you have the opportunity now to experience it, you want to. You want to go down that road.
Yeah. I agree.
So when you ask what is sex, what is good sex? Good sex could be anything to anyone. Sex on the whole, a patient asked me this recently, how often should I be having intercourse? There are some persons, based on their physical attributes, based on their health, they could have sex every day, but it's not recommended you have sex every day. One of the reasons for not having sex every day, eventually it's going to become boring for one of the two partners involved. Eventually one person is going to give in to you simply because they know that's what you like, but it's not what they really like. They may like something else. They might like cuddling or hugging up or kissing, but not sex all the time. But then the body has to recuperate and rejuvenate. So you cannot... Woman has the capability to have sex multiple times. Men do not. Men have what you call a refactoring period. After you go through the process, there's this refractory that you have to go through to get a second process going. Some guys, the process might be 5 seconds. Some guys, it's 5 minutes. Some guys, it's 5 hours. Some guys, it's 5 days or 5 months or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about that because of the way they're built, because of the certain things that have happened to them, age in process, andropause, all these things will affect them. So, you don't know, but it's not good to overdo anything, even eating or drinking, even drinking water. It's not good to overdo it. You have to have a balance in your life with everything.
Yeah.
So that cement that binds your relationship together has to be a good mixture for the cement to hold. And a good mixture will take into consideration what is needed by the individual and their partner and what you want to do. Sometimes what is needed, you're incapable of doing it. Or you have a reservation about doing it. Or you think that it's something that should not be done, but it's what the other person craves. And if the person craves that and they're not getting it, and you're not providing it, what's going to happen? Frustration again comes into the relationship. Yeah. So many a time we have to think along those lines. But it's not the main reason I wanted to talk tonight. I think we got into this this way of the program based on the previous program. And I think the previous program has a bit to do with what I want to talk about tonight. But it also has to do with the big sporting event that just went by, which was the World Cup. And I want to lay it out there that sometimes sports doesn't do too good, or it's not a good thing for men. Watching sports.
Oh, watching sports.
Not playing, watching. And I'll tell you why. Men are driven by a hormone called testosterone. Testosterone is released at certain times in your body and you behave in a particular way. Excessive amount of testosterone gives you an aggressive way of doing things. Depletion of testosterone, meaning you have low levels of testosterone, causes you to become sedated in your action. Sedated. When you engage in viewing sports, it triggers that testosterone.
Is that right?
And I'll give you a good example. If you were rooting for Jamaica in the football and they didn't qualify, you didn't feel good after that? Yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
If you were rooting for Brazil and you see them get licks, you wouldn't feel good after that. You get depressed.
Yeah.
There were many men who will not be sleeping with their wives for days. And it's nothing to laugh at. It's a very serious thing.
Yeah.
While you're watching sport, as a matter of fact, there were experiments that were done with men who were going to certain games where their testosterone levels were tested, and the team that they were supporting was written down. And after the game, they were retested. And all those who supported the losing team, their testosterone levels were much lower. So that's scientific evidence. But we don't need scientific evidence. You watching a game and one team putting licks on your team, you think you could go and make love after? What do most men do? Most men will take a drink.
Yeah. Well, completely turned off.
Of course.
Nothing at all.
Nothing turns you on. Your wife don't turn you on. Your girlfriend don't turn you on. You're in a state of depression. And that depression could be short-lived or long-lived.
Yeah. You saw people.
When West Indies losing, the majority of West Indians who follow cricket, they're depressed. You ask the average West Indian or average Trinidadian about the West Indies team, they say that waste of time team.
Yeah.
That time is the team, you know.
Yeah. I too have.
But that is your team, you know.
Yeah.
But you use a word that is going to tell you that here what is a waste of time, but that is how you feel inside.
Yeah.
And that's the depression that it gives you. Now the testosterone level in your body can't be at a high because you're supporting a losing effort. T20 cricket does that also. That 3 hours of intense cricket does the same thing. Any sport that you see is very short like that, it does that too. You have a fluctuation of your, and T20 cricket, it could sway by a over or a ball, but you have 120 balls. So in that 120 balls, you could be going from very high to very low, very high to very low, tapering off. And oh God, we have a chance to win here, boy. We have a chance to win. And then all of a sudden you lose. You just feel good about yourself?
No.
And that is the point. So these armchair sportsmen, they are sometimes doing themselves a disservice. You know? And you know, we have a lot of persons who follow basketball.
Yeah.
Night after night after night after night, they're going to sleep with their wife, they're watching basketball.
Yeah.
They're backing a team, and that's my team. But I don't know if persons don't understand something about franchise team. Your team today is not your team tomorrow. Eh?
Exactly.
Because as a franchise, when you're supporting your country, is a different thing.
Ball game, yeah.
A different ball game. But franchise team, the player that you like on the team, he might be sold to your enemy team.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I have to support that team. Nobody, I'm an enemy. I'm not going to do that. But that's how franchise are made up. Same thing with European football, soccer,
Yeah.
or English soccer.
Especially.
And every weekend, you know, it have people watching 3 and 4 games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Especially when their team play, they want to see that. But I'm not criticizing it. What I'm saying is that you have to be aware of what it can do to you psychologically.
What's the relation in the production and probably the malfunctioning of that testosterone organ or whatever?
The relationship is the brain. The brain.
Okay, okay.
Your body's put under certain amount of stress when your team loses. Because you wholeheartedly supporting your team, and all of a sudden your team has let you down.
Yes.
You go into a state of depression. The brain triggers that state of depression. And we start to feel sorry for ourselves. We want to feel sorry because that's the way we console ourselves. Your wife not going to tell you about tough luck, your team lost. Let me go on barbecue now. You don't want to hear that because you lost your appetite.
Yeah, yeah.
If you could lose your appetite from a sporting event, what happens to your sex drive? What happens to your libido? What happens to your ability to want to make love or want to have sex? What happens to that? Think about it. Simple little things.
Especially if you're a gambler.
Well, the gambling part of it, I was getting to that, but you rushed me there, man. I shall take some bets on that, boy. If you are a gambler,
Yeah. I mean,
worse.
I mean gambling in the sport, eh?
Yeah,
Worse?
Worse.
So,
Because you have money riding on the team.
yeah.
You have money riding on the individual.
The pressure could be very deep, eh, man?
Very, very deep. Very, very deep. Because you're not only out of the bragging rights, because all it is bragging rights, you know.
Yes,
But you know what? What taught me a great lesson, boy? That great man they call Brian Lara. When Brian Lara retired in 2007, you know what he asked the crowd? Did I entertain? And that was the reality check I think everyone should have paid attention to. That these guys are simply entertainers.
That's who they are.
Today they're up, tomorrow they're down. They are entertainers. You can't put your life on them. They are great at what they do. Don't take that away from them.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Whatever they choose to do or whatever they're guided to do, they're great. Fantastic. But they are entertainers.
Yeah.
Don't think that the world revolves around them. And if a person could come up and say, did I entertain you? You are recognizing that, hey, that person I'm entertaining is more important than me. Because at the end of the day is what I do to make him or her happy. And that was a profound moment for me. It was. Because knowing this young man and knowing what he went through and seeing where he reached, and then that's the question he asked, did I entertain you? So we take it to heart that we're supporting a guy, we're supporting a girl, we're supporting a person. Nothing wrong with that. But don't take it too much at heart if they fail.
Don't make it too personal.
Don't make it personal.
Yeah.
And there are persons who make it personal. So personal that in some countries, man, does mash up their TV set.
How you mean?
They just pelt it out their window.
People riot and all.
People riot.
Yeah.
People kill one another. That Colombian footballer who allowed the goal,
Yes.
as he step on the road,
I was making mention of that.
gunshot.
Yeah, I
to
was
his head.
making mention of that during this World Cup here.
Right.
Yeah, when
But-
he failed, that was it.
But these are the things that fanatics, that's where the word fan came from, you know, fanatics and fanatical behavior. You know.
Yes.
The word fan, when they say, I'm a fan of that team, you're fanatical about the team.
Yeah.
That's what it meant. You know.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that, but we have to understand what it does to us. You are sitting there, I mean, with the recent World Cup, everybody knows I support Germany. And when you see this team that you really like,
Yeah.
failing to even go forward,
Yeah. I was supporting Germany too.
you know how I felt?
Yeah.
But then again, I check back and I say, Raj, is a game.
That's right.
Who win.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody going to win at the end of the day. I have to boost my inner self to say that is only a game. At the end of the day, somebody has to lose.
That's right. That's right.
But there are individuals who would say, "Well, let me take a drink for that. Go my teeth. They bring a bottle, boy."
Yeah.
So they become alcoholic at the moment, or it drives them to do something they're not supposed to be doing, or they go into a state of depression and sit down in a corner, and they tear up their jersey and they throw it away. I wear my Germany jersey just Sunday gone.
Right.
Somebody they say, "Were you brave?" I say, "Well, about what?" I say, "I love my team."
Yes.
Like basketball, I support only the Lakers. Me care else who else play.
Right.
When Lakers play, I want to see whether they win or lose, and I watching. Strike squad. Well, it ain't no longer the strike squad. What they call them now?
Soca Warriors.
No, they don't call them Soca Warriors, so I think that's illegal. You can't use that word. And somebody take them to court for that?
Is that right?
Yeah. I think you can't call them Soca Warriors again, man. They have a different name.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. That's the team I'll support. Well, I know I support Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
In cricket, throughout the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. Full stop.
Yeah.
There's no other team for me. Right? In T20, CPL, Night Riders, Trinidad Night Riders.
Yeah.
Right? My favorite batsman might be in another team.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, friends are on other teams.
Yeah.
I like to see them perform. But I have to support my country's team because they fly my flag.
Right.
Not somebody else's flag, my flag. But at the end of the game, that's it. You would have liked them to win. You would have get if they win.
Yeah.
But does it put money in your pocket? Unless you bet?
Yeah.
No, it does not. The testosterone. When you have fluctuating levels of testosterone, especially as you grow older, for the guys who are heading home to this afternoon or this evening, now it's the evening into night, you have high levels in the morning. That's why a man wakes up with a morning erection. It's not a pee stand. There's no such thing as a pee stand, fellas. Stop using that word, I have a pee stand.
Yeah.
Because if there was such a thing as a pee stand, every time you wanted to pee, you'll get a stand.
Yes, true.
That is logic. All you must use logic to think. It's called a morning erection, and the only reason you have a morning erection is because your testosterone levels are highest in the morning. That's why the best time to test your testosterone levels, if you want to know your true levels when it's pumping, is in the morning time. Not. So if you want to manipulate information, you could tell a fella testing testosterone in the morning and don't the first thing in the morning. But we don't do that. We tell you test anytime.
Yeah.
We tell you test anytime. But we know what there are ways you can manipulate anything. There are persons who will do that. And I hope all the unscrupulous individuals out there, if they hear that, I ain't trying to teach you something. I'm just trying to teach the persons who are going to do it to know better.
Yeah.
So you get a morning erection based on the fact that your testosterone shoots up after you've gotten a certain amount of hours of night rest.
I always hear you stressing on night rest.
There's a difference between night rest and day rest. The body has a body biological clock. You have a biological clock. I have a biological clock. Your biological clock tells you when to sleep, when to get up, when to eat. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
Your body biological clock is different from mine. Your body biological clock would be tuned to you growing up, you getting a job, you working. If you are working and you are accustomed to going to sleep late at night, it's difficult for you to fall asleep 8 o'clock in the night.
It's true.
If your body biological clock wakes you up 4 o'clock because of the job that you were doing and you have to travel from Palo Seco to San Fernando to Port of Spain, and you have to get 4 o'clock to do that, your body biological clock will tell you every 4 o'clock in the morning you have to get up no matter what.
Yeah.
So you're on vacation, you're going on vacation and getting up 4 o'clock and say, boy, why I can't sleep late, boy? Your body biological clock wakes you up. The body biological clock which you are born with, which God gave you, is telling you rest and recuperation takes place during the night. When that sun goes down, we change as people. You watching me like if you're a believer.
No, I'm listening. This is something new.
When you wake up in the morning and you stretch and you yawn and you get off the bed, what's the first thing you do?
Well, you go to the washroom.
All right.
Yeah. And then you head for the kitchen.
Right? Those are the things that your body is trained to do. But do you know why? You go to the washroom because you have to eliminate from your body certain things. You go to the kitchen because you have to replenish your nutrients. That's why breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Yes.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
I know that. Yeah.
Do not deny your body breakfast. There's nothing more important than breakfast. And there are lots of us, and I'll show you logically. Let's say your last meal was at 8 o'clock in the night. You had your last meal. You go to sleep. You watch your television. You do whatever. And you go to sleep. You wake up at 6:37. That's almost 12 hours. You do your bathroom duties and you go and you have a cup of coffee. You haven't had anything to eat. Or you have a cup of tea. You haven't had anything to eat. Or you have a warm glass of milk. You haven't had anything to eat. The food that was in your system was used up for whatever energy needed to be used during the night. There are things that your organs are still functioning.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course. Yeah.
Some of it is stored as fat. Your body, you don't put the nutrients into your body. Next meal is when?
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. Let's use 12 o'clock as lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
16 hours has passed before you put nutrients in your body. Could that be good for you?
No.
Your body working on fumes?
Yeah, there are sometimes if I eat a lot in the evening time or into the night time, so now you go out, fetting or whatever, or you just home and you decide to eat late.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to eat in the morning. I think that why should you push more food into your body?
No. Your body needs that breakfast. And if you notice, normally your breakfast is not the same makeup as the rest of your meals.
It's true.
It's always a bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be balanced. It is supposed to give you the energy and nutrients to start your body up, to get you started.
Yeah.
Is that little bit of gas going into the carburetor? The little bit of gas going into the ejectors to get you going, to get that engine moving. The engine is you. So you need that. A person now who wakes up in the morning with the morning erection has gotten a good night rest because the body biological clock is working. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's telling you that time to repair the muscle tissues, the broken down tissues during the day, the injuries or whatever. That's what's happening at night. The testosterone level is being replenished at night because you're sleeping. It's not done during the day. And I dislike when people say, well, I just work night shift and whatnot, so I just give me 2 hours during the day. 2 hours is not sufficient for you. It's going to break your body down.
But is sleeping in the day good at all for this testosterone?
There is something called power nap, which is good for you. It's good to take a power nap, but once you go into the REM sleep, your body is going to react differently. You're going to wake up sluggish.
Yeah.
If you take a power nap, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you don't go to that REM sleep, you feel better about yourself. You wake up and you're all energized and you're ready to go again. But it's not going to help you with your testosterone.
Right.
Unless you have good levels of testosterone right through. It means to say, during the day when you wake up, you're going to wake up with a semi-hard erection or even a hard erection. But you don't do the same thing that you will do in the morning when you wake up from night rest. You don't usually rush to the bathroom to eliminate.
It's true.
You don't go and look for food.
Mm-hmm.
Your body behaves differently.
Yes.
So that's the difference. When I say night rest, that's what I mean by night rest. The night is made for sleeping.
Does the dark has anything?
Well, of course. That's the next point I was going to get to. The moon and the stars and the sun has an effect on your body. Once that moon starts, do you know why they call people lunatic? Lunar?
Yeah.
Luna means moon,
Yeah, I know.
Right. That's why they call them lunatic. When the moon is in certain phases, they behave badly.
Yeah.
The moon affects everything on this earth.
I know.
Well, you are a man from Labrie. If you don't know that, something wrong.
Yeah.
If you cut wood in bad moon, what happened?
It's true.
And there's Lego white powder.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you cut bamboo in bad moon, and there is Lego
Even if you plant anything.
you can't plant it in bad moon.
That's right. Yeah.
Crab come out in certain moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why? How they know that? Somebody else go down there and tell me, hey, the moon right for you? No. We have a biological clock that tells us the moon controls our behavior, just as it controls the sea
All water sources. Huh?
All water sources. And what is the human body made up of?
Yeah, 75.
75% of the human body is water.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me the moon doesn't have an effect on your body if it affects all water sources and you use the right word.
Yeah.
So you see, you know,
I know.
right? But how many of us apply the logic? The logic will tell you, since 75% of our body is water, therefore the moon is going to affect your body. Therefore, the night time is made for sleeping. Now, of course, I am not knocking the security officers who have to work at night. I am not knocking the factory workers who have to work at night. But you have to understand what you're doing to your body. That's why when I look at Trinidad and Tobago, I can retire now. Because the amount of young men that are burning the candles at both ends, working during the day, liming in the night, or have a second job, or working in a chemical environment, or working shift system, they are going to have sexual dysfunction, whether they like it or not. It's going to happen. Somewhere down the line, it is going to happen. That's why we say 70% of all men experience some sort of sexual dysfunction. Either premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, low libido, low testosterone, something. What we do is we find the root cause and we treat the root cause at the adult therapy center. We don't treat. If you come in, I don't have you a tablet to go and have sex tonight. You know?
Yeah.
If you want that, don't come by me. You know? Go by somebody else.
Right.
Because what I'm doing there is, if I do that, is a disservice to you. You know? Because what is going to happen, I will give you a tablet. And there are many tablets. I will give you an injection. You could go and have sex tonight and for the next week. But what happens to your body after it breaks down? There's no fixing, you know. There's no easy fix after that, you know.
I know.
So that's why all these men who are rushing to these pharmacies and different places, they have drug pusher and drug pushers. You know. You have legal drug pushers and illegal drug pushers. You know. You have a guy who will sit on the corner, or your co-worker will tell you, hey boy, try this thing, black so-and-so is the best thing since sliced bread. He's a drug pusher also, you know, because he's giving you something that your body really may not need. But man ego will cause you to say, yeah, let me try it. Yeah. Let me use it. Yeah. There are pharmacies in Trinidad that put together a concoction and sell it, you know, for premature ejaculation and erectile. There's no tablet or liquid for premature ejaculation, you know. But there's a psychological effect. If I give you this and say, hey boy, if you eat this tonight, you're lasting like a lion, you know, man. You're going the whole weekend and you're breaking, you know. I already put that in your brain.
Right.
The placebo effect. All these things are part and parcel of our human being behavior, you know. That's why we deal with the root cause of your problem and we treat that. The treatment, you may have had a sexual dysfunction for 8 years. The treatment might be 8 months. Or it might be 5 months. Or it may be a month. But the treatment is not a shortcut. We don't use shortcuts. Because if you use a shortcut, problems for the individual. No, there's follow-up. Because if you continue to live your lifestyle and you haven't changed anything, don't you think that the same problem is going to pop up later on?
Exactly.
That's why when you go by a doctor and he tells you need to exercise and change your diet and change things, the way you do things, there's a reasoning behind that. Because if you continue to do the same things that you were doing as you did in the past, you're going to have the same problems popping up. It's not that some people say, well, he want to make sure you're sick so you're coming back all the time. No. He wants to give you good advice. But it's up to you to take the good advice. Many a time we don't take the advice. Many a times we think that we know better than the person who's giving us the advice. You know what you're talking about, man. Like I just I'll call out a plethora of persons who would have problems. Painters. Straighteners and painters. Man working in gas station.
Yeah.
Man working in a chemical environment.
Certain parts of the oil industry too.
Oh, well, the whole oil industry, not certain part. The whole oil industry. Methanol plant, urea plant, working in Point Lisas, Claxton Bay, living around those areas. Welders, you're burning a metal, turning it into a liquid for it to join. You feel that's not going to affect you? When they come to me, I don't tell them to stop their job. You can't tell a man stop his job. But you have to tell him there are precautions that you must take. That's why you have your OSHA Act. That's why you have protective gear. How many Trinidadians wear protective gear?
They don't like to wear.
They don't like it because they're macho enough.
Mm-hmm.
If a man have to strap himself to go up on a roof, he say, nah, that ain't macho, you mad at me doing that, I going up on the roof. Fall and break your neck.
Mask and all that kind of thing.
No, they wouldn't do it. It's not macho enough. But there are reasons for wearing, what they call it, PP?
PPE.
PPE? Yeah, PPE.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that. There is a reason. But it's not only the reason that people think. It's not a fashion statement. It is not.
Yeah.
You are doing that also to protect your health, especially if you're in a chemical environment. That's why they tell mechanics, don't wash your hand with gas. Did I say the skin was a sexual organ?
That's the biggest organ in your body in the first place.
Correct. It's the largest organ in your body,
Yeah.
the skin, and people don't even think about that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put gasoline on your body, on your hands, on your elbows and whatnot, and it's running down your side, you feel it's not absorbed by the bloodstream? You think you're not going to cause damage to your system? The lead poisoning from diesel? Fellas who go and bust battery and things and selling battery or belting copper wire and all them things,
Yeah.
you feel they're not going to be affected? You are going to be affected.
Yeah.
You will end up by Dr. Raj. The only adult therapy center in the Caribbean is Total Limit, you know.
I know.
There's no other, you know.
I know. I never heard of any.
There's no other. I'm telling you, I'm not asking that question. I'm telling you. There's none in the Caribbean. There's very little in the United States. And even if you go there, you can't pay the prices to go in them places. But the fact remains that you have the treatment here. A lot of people don't do it because of ego. A lot of people don't do it because they don't know. But when they find out about it, it's like a patient of mine, a client came in this week.
Yeah.
So after he brought the results and whatnot, well, you were supposed to bring the results. You have a certain time to bring the results back, which is 2 weeks. He brought it 2 months later. So I looked at him and said, well, your results are not good. And I explained everything to him. And I said, what took you so long to come back? He said, by time. He said, how long I supposed to come here? I said, how long? What do you mean, how long? Well, I know you have a problem a long time because from the information I got. It's about 5 years now. I said, and whose fault is that? He said, yours. I said, it ain't my fault at all. He said, it wasn't convincing enough. I said, I don't have to convince you. You are the problem.
That's right.
Don't you know you have a problem? You didn't wake up one morning and realize that you had a problem? What do I have to convince you? I don't have to convince anybody. You feel all the men listening to us tonight, I have to convince them that they have a problem? I'm not here to convince anybody about a problem. I'm here to tell you there's help for your problem. If I have to sit down, you come like I sit down here and say, hey, see that jacket you have on there, that green, you know. That green jacket is real nice, you know. And you watch it and say, well, Raj, that blue, that is the green jacket. I see that green.
Yeah.
I convincing you.
Yeah.
And to me, convincing is fooling you.
Yes.
But if I tell you, I like that blue jacket that you have on here, that is not convincing. You know it's a blue jacket you have on. Correct?
Yeah.
So if I'm telling you now, sitting on Power 102 studio, main studio, that men who have erectile dysfunction, 70% of the men out there have that. And depending on the type of work that you do, the guys who drive in the truck and the maxi taxis and whatnot, sitting on a hot engine, your scrotum was never meant to be cooked. Chefs does have a serious problem because they always, no stove is above your waist level. It could be a little lower, like if you're making a cook wrong by the river and thing.
Yeah.
But it don't be above that. It never chest height.
No.
All stove is around your pelvic area. So cooks, chef, sous chef, bakers, they will experience sexual dysfunction. I'm not pinpointing people for somebody to laugh at you, you know.
I know.
That's why I'm telling you, I'm not trying to convince anybody that they have a problem. I'm telling you that you will have a problem. How severe the problem is, it's up to you. Maybe you do exercise, maybe you do eat right, maybe you do get enough sleep. So you would not have a severe problem, or you would not have a problem. But those who have the problem must know that when you have the problem, you come to the Adult Therapy Center, 645-4543. Call, make an appointment. You could call me on my cell number, 740-1961. I give out my number freely. I'm not fearful of that. You know, some people say, boy, how you give out your number so people calling up your phone. Yes, they do call up my phone. But if I am busy, I'll say, please call back.
Yes.
And they must understand that. I am with a patient right now, could you call back? They have to understand that. Not because I give you my number freely means that I have to answer it also. There are times I wouldn't answer the phone. I don't go to do my business in the toilet with my phone, you know.
Right.
When I reach home, my phone goes into the charging dock and that's it, you know. I don't have it with me. But if I see a missed call, I'll return the call.
Yeah.
But the point is, I have been doing this for 18 years on the air. Telling individuals that if you have a problem, see about it and see about it immediately. Deal with the problem as soon as you can. Do not let it fester. The minute you let it fester, you are going to have a serious problem. And when that problem manifests itself and grows, there's very little that you can do.
Exactly.
So you need to deal with it. You need to deal with it. Individuals have to understand that you have a responsibility to yourself. Let's take a break.
You're listening to Power 102. Final. It's the final extension of Babindia.
Women, are you talking about cooks and things? Women affected the same way?
No.
So women who, I find most women who live in the kitchen get fat. I find most women who
Because they're always tasting and eating and munching and...
Yeah.
That's right.
No expo until Diwali. Final extension. Definitely closing on Emancipation Day. Wednesday, August 1st.
Are the problems and destructive anxieties of today tearing you apart? If there was ever a time to readjust your priorities and refocus your vision, it's now. Join Pastor Wayne Sampson on the Vision for devotional program every Monday from 5:30 to 6 a.m. right here on Power 102 FM. Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of today's storm.
And remember, the idea they have limited physical activity.
Yeah.
They're
it's
eating
true.
all the time.
And right then
Their calorie intake is greater than the expelling.
Yeah.
So you put on weight.
Right. My woman cook and things. And I find all the cook all have big belly. I see all the fumes, all the burning garlic, burning this, all the day in the kitchen, all the tasting, all the inhaling, gas fume, all kind of thing. I said, I wanted them to affect us. I used to ask her that, but she told me no.
This is Power 102. Empowering you.
It is Sexplosion. And for those who are now getting acquainted to the times, it's now on Thursdays from 7 to 9 and on Friday evenings also. Dr. Raj.
You know, sometimes you try to be politically correct. Well, we don't mean to hit anyone or insult anyone and whatnot. But sometimes we use colloquial words. Sometimes we use things that Trinidadians will understand.
Yeah.
And sometimes somebody outside, you know, it's like in the United States, you don't tell anybody Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
You have to tell them season greeting.
Yes.
You don't tell them Merry Christmas because you don't know if they're Jew. If they're,
Happy holidays. Or
you tell them
something.
Happy Holidays. You have to be generic as hell.
Yeah.
You have to forget Christmas is for Christ. So America is a real messed up place. Eh?
Yes.
I hope we don't become like that over here.
I hope so too.
I hope we don't.
The place are getting so sectoral now.
Well, we are mimic men. We just mimic what's happening outside.
Of course we do.
So
Yeah, we are in summer right now.
yeah. Imagine that we're in summer. Oh, I hear this now, man. Hey, that is
I mean, being in the media, you have to do what you are paid to do. I mean, I
Correct.
see commercials.
Promotion coming, some of this and some of that.
Lord, Father, have mercy.
I know long time it was August vacation.
Yeah, I try to maintain that. It's a nice media vacation, August vacation, but summer, and people trying to convince you, like you were talking about convincing a while ago, that it is summer. I say, okay, you go ahead with that summer talk. Yeah, but it happens.
So when we talk about individuals experiencing, and you asked a very good question on the break,
Yeah.
about if it affects women the same way. It does not.
How come?
Because the hormone that drives women is different, the structure of a woman is different, the makeup of a woman is different, and behavior is different. So it will not affect them the same way. It will affect them. The impact it will have on a female will be less than the impact it will have on a male. But you have women having polycystic ovaries. You have women having endometriosis. You have women having sexual problems that are related to these things in a different way. They'll have constant bleeding.
Yeah.
Or they have intercourse and they're spotting. So they're not comfortable. Or they have a erratic period. They have painful intercourse because of a cyst. So, fibroids. And not fry boil. Eh?
Yeah, some people say that. Fried ball.
Yeah. So, when you have these things happening, it does happen to women, but not to the extent that, but in a man,
Yeah.
the manifestation of it is real. And let me explain that. You cannot fake an erection.
It's true. No
If you're
way.
going to have sex, you have to have an erection.
Yeah.
A woman could fake feeling good. As a matter of fact, she put a little lubrication on there, and you feel she ready for you. Not for a man. Therefore, the effects these things have on the male is different from the female. And then, let's deal with the other side of it, the stress level. The things that give you stress when we talk about the sports. And your team lost, or you lost a few dollars behind your team. Stress level goes zooming.
Yeah.
And stress is a very real thing. Stress could kill you. Stress could cause you to have a erratic heartbeat. Stress could cause you to behave differently. Stress could cause you to go into a state of depression, raise your cholesterol level, give you kidney problem. All these things are stress related. Sometimes we as human beings don't even think about detoxifying our liver. As a matter of fact, we think about toxifying our liver by drinking as much alcohol as possible. But all you're doing is you're putting toxin into your body. All you're doing is you're putting an alcoholic beverage into your body that the liver has to deal with. But how many of us stop to think that, hey, I need to clean up that part of my body called the liver?
Just today I was going through my phone with a post that a friend sent me. With two posts, as a matter of fact, that dealt strictly with cleansing of the liver and gallbladder.
You know, many women are having their gallbladder removed because of gallstones. You know, many men have kidney problems because of kidney stone, blockage of urine. Anything that affects your nervous system,
Yeah.
your circulatory system, your endocrine system, and your ability to urinate is going to affect your sexual behavior and your sexual system. Anything. And I dare anybody out there to have a good diarrhea and think about sex. If you don't believe me, have a good diarrhea and think about sex and see if you get erection at it.
That's a no-no.
Well, right. So it shows you their direct relationship with the digestive system and your erection. If it could be with that, think about the nervous system, the circulatory system, and the effects that it will have with you sexually.
Yeah.
So many a times we don't use logic. And many a times we want the shortest shortcut. You know, it's a shortcut and it's a shortcut. But the shortcut could get in trouble.
Big trouble.
The shortcut is why everybody using, and you know it, and you go to use the shortest shortcut.
Yeah, long-term
and you end up in a long cut.
Long-term effects of having a mess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you make a bad thing and you end up in somebody's garage. So these are the things that could happen. I mean, we talk in parables sometimes, but sometimes we're very straightforward. But I do that to jolt people into thinking, persons who are listening to the program, and we do have a large listenership, into thinking that, hey, I'm not calling anything on you. I am just trying to let you know or let you be aware of these things. If your wife is aware of the things that are affecting you, sometimes your job stress level is affecting you and your inability to perform in bed. So she wouldn't think you have an outside woman. Because the first thing a woman will tell you when you can't perform, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And when a man hear that, he just get damn vexed. Especially if it's not true.
Yeah.
If it's true, you go try to find a way to get around it. But if it's not true, it have nothing will get you more angry than that. And when you get angry, your stress level go up. So how could you be loving that same person? How could you want to make love to that same person who put in that accusation in? And vice versa. There are men who accuse their wife also. But we're dealing with the men tonight. We started off with dealing with that. We started off with testosterone. We can have a testosterone program and we're talking about estrogen. We're dealing with testosterone. So, there are many factors, even in your home. You know, I had a curious client who told me that he actually, I don't want to give out anything, but I'm trying to package it in a nice way. He realized that his wife is horning him, but not horning him in the physical sense. She's horning him mentally.
What you talking about?
So he asked me what to do. But I asked him what did he do initially when he came to the realization that he get in a mental horn. So he got angry.
Don't they really define a mental horn, right?
Right? He said he got angry. And he quarreled. And ended up quarreling a lot. I say, well, right there you lost. Because what a person conjure up in their mind, how are you getting rid of that?
I tell you.
If it's a man or a woman, they could break off that. You could tell them, well, here what? If we have to continue, you better stop that. And the person might tell you, yes, they stop it, but still sneak around. But you know. You know, we have the saying, what the eyes don't see, the heart don't grieve.
Yeah, the hand agree.
You don't know.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah.
Right. But a mental horn, and you come to the realization you're getting a mental horn. If you don't handle that properly at the beginning, you're in serious trouble. Serious trouble. Because there are many. Let me define a mental horn.
Yes, do that.
You are on the air.
Yeah.
You're speaking to, let's say right now we're speaking to 10,000 people. We have 10,000 listeners. You know any women out there like you? You have any idea? You know any women out there want to go to bed with you? You have any idea?
No.
You don't. But the woman who is listening to you there and hearing your voice, and every time you talk, she gets a little twitch between her leg. Well, I'm being very serious. Or a glint in her eyes.
Yeah.
Or heart flutters. That is a mental one. She don't know if she will ever meet you.
Yes, it's true.
She don't know what your physical features are. But she know the voice.
Yeah.
And she love with the voice. And she like how you say things.
Yeah.
So she now going to bed with her husband,
Thinking about that.
having sex and thinking about her voice.
Jesus. Oh, that's a real mental
That's a
horn.
mental horn.
Oh.
Can you guarantee me what your partner thinks about when you are having sex with your partner? Can you do that?
No, I can't.
Can she guarantee what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Let me turn it around now. What you are thinking.
Yeah.
You can't.
No.
So a person will have fantasies coming into their mind.
Exactly.
And those fantasies, you cannot get vexed because of a fantasy. If I like Sharapova, and every time Sharapova playing tennis, I want to see Sharapova play tennis because I hope the skirt jump up a little bit and I see the boxing. That's what I like.
Yeah.
But you think I will ever meet Sharapova?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That may never happen. But that is my fantasy.
Yeah,
So you can't vex with me every time I watch Sharapova.
exactly. Yeah.
But there are persons who will get angry for that.
Yeah. Real and
And the more you tell me don't watch her, okay, I don't want to watch her in front of you. But there are smart devices. I will find Sharapova picture and put it up there and watch it.
Yeah.
She might be a screenshot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the point I'm making is that when somebody mentally become attached to something or someone, and let me use the word thing now. There are persons who like to use a dildo, like to use a vibrator, like to masturbate. And when you're having intercourse with them, they're thinking about masturbating or using the dildo or using the vibrator. Isn't that a mental what?
Yes, it is.
Well, right. How do you deal with it? You cannot deal with it with coral.
Not alone.
Correct. No, you have to become the dildo. You have to become the finger. That is what you have to do. So my advice to the individual is when you're making love to the person, and that throws when that person closes the eye and stop calling your name and start thinking about the personality, whisper in the person as, I am so and so. Let's make love. Become what the person is thinking about.
Exactly.
Because that's what you have to do. You cannot beat it. You have to join it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Eventually, the satisfaction is coming from you. The picture she would or he will never close their eyes to think about Sharapova or whoever. Because now you have become that. And that's one way of beating it. But you cannot react in a negative way and go. Of course, we as men will have egos. And we will think, boy, she think about big Mark on the radio. What is she, boy? But two lashes she tell. I want she listen to Power 102 again. Switch that station, break off the dial. But she will find a way.
Of course.
Isn't that so?
Yeah.
And she will know what time you're on. Our good friend Junior does have that problem. Seriously. There are people who run him down on his program. They know what time his program on before he knows it. Because you are in love with the personality and you're in love. And it's a different kind of love.
Yes, it's different.
It's a different kind of love. And it's something that comes about not from the physical appearance, but from something you hear or something you see.
Brings about that kind of feeling,
Yeah, of course. There are many actresses I love to see act. Every time I see them in a movie, I want to see the movie. Sometimes the movie is crap, like Charlize Theron. She acted in one called Tully the other night. It wasn't that good.
Right.
But it's her. And you want to see her. But it doesn't mean to say I will meet her or have sex with her.
That's right.
And my wife's not going to get vexed because I say, is a Charlize Theron movie? So that's what you have to take into consideration. What is real, what is possible, what is impossible. And you cannot just brush aside your partner or make that partner feel as though they're not human. That's human behavior.
Exactly.
That is human behavior. Every young man and woman growing up would have something called puppy love for a teacher.
Yes. I had
it.
a big crush on one of the teachers.
But of course,
at my secondary
if you didn't have that, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Something is wrong. Because that is the process of development. So that's why I tell you, sometimes you legislate to protect certain things, but you're going against the course of nature, you know. You are going against the course of nature. And eventually, you're going to have something happening. It's the same way when the gentleman here was talking about what happened to the maxi taxi. If they shut down in the morning, this whole country shut down.
I tell you, especially that
This
East
whole,
West corridor.
it doesn't matter where. If every maxi taxi takes to the road and park up, we have a serious problem in this country. Nobody could do nothing.
That's right. I agree.
Nobody could do anything. You can't do nothing. I can't open my business. Nobody. Bank can't open. And that's how serious we, and it's going to happen, you know. Let me tell you something. When I heard that this morning, I told the person who was telling me that, I said, let me tell you something. We Trinidadians are cool and collective, but we dotish. We just let something go as far as it could go, and then we react. But the day we react, we go have anarchy. It will have anarchy. Somebody's going to ride a bus and pull out something and do something untoward, and you will have madness happening. Because we could no longer take it.
That's true.
We could no longer take it as a people. And I'm not talking about black, white, Indian, Negro, Chinese. I'm talking about as a people. A Trinbagonian. We can no longer take it. So the same thing happens in your home. The same things happen with you as a person. There are things that you have to learn to control. There are things that you have to learn to do. Nobody's perfect, you know. I'm talking these things, but I learn a lot from my wife, you know.
Right. Yeah.
All the education, I have education. All the university, I went to university. All the doctorate, I have. There are a lot I learned from my simple little wife, you know.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't listen to her with certain things, I couldn't be the man I am today. Seriously. There are many times we go to a function and somebody say, how your wife just put up with you? I said, look, she right there, ask her.
Yeah.
Look her right there, ask her. Ask her. Listen to what she has to say, which is what I do. I listen to what she has to say. Because at the end of the day, that's the person I have to spend my life with. When I leave here, am I going home by you? Are you going home to none of my fans? Nobody cooking for me but my wife.
That's right.
And if I don't listen to some of the things that she's telling me, not all the things, but some of the things that are pertinent to our relationship, I'm in trouble. But if you beat your chest and say, if I beat my chest and say, I'm Dr. Raj, I could get any woman I want out there, me I have to study she.
Madness.
No, I could never be happy.
Yeah.
You will never be a happy individual. Because what you're doing is, you know, there's something circulating right now about, I don't know if you got it, but about a guy who went to give a speech. And before he gave the speech, he drank a cup of coffee from a Styrotex cup and he started to explain how he was treated before he was retired and how he's treated now. But there are many times you go somewhere and you're watching what's going on and say, them you know why is so and so why? How they treating me so? But they don't know, and it doesn't matter who you are.
That's right. Yeah.
Not because you have a title or a doctorate or something mean to say that you have to be treated.
Yeah.
They don't know you. Who is you?
Right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you? And for now, a man have to ask, you know who I am? Well, then you know who you are.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody, there are many times I will go out and do something, and this happened to me. One time I was out with one of my secretaries, and I noticed there were two ladies looking at me funny. So I looked at her and said, "My clothes okay? All right?" She said, "Why?" I said, "I'm looking at me real funny." She said, "Yeah, you know you're Dr. Raj?" I said, "Oh shit." I said, "They might recognize her."
Yeah.
But me thinking that.
Right.
I am not thinking along those lines because that is not me. When I outside, I'm a different person.
Yeah, me too.
I am Raj. And I tell you, I have classmates who will call me doctor and I will stop them in their tracks. You know, that I say, you know me as Giri.
Yeah.
That's my name in school.
Yeah.
That's what you call me, nothing else.
Yeah. I like to break those lines.
I break it one time.
Yeah.
Somebody I grew up with on the streets, and I meet them, and they call me. I said, no, stop right, mash breaks right there. That is a title I have when I outside. That is a title I have in my office. That's not a title when I come here to sit down on the block with all.
That's right. Yeah, I agree totally with you.
That is not who I am. You know who I am. You know what I do.
Yeah.
Treat me as that because it grounds me. It keeps me where I want to be.
Yeah.
Because I want to be grounded. I don't want to be aloof and that this and that and the other. No, I don't like that. But many a times our ego gets the better of us.
Of course, yeah.
And it happens in our relationship. We tell ourselves in the relationship, we are man. And we rule the roost. And this is my house.
Yes.
Come out of my bed. You call with your wife and say, get out of my bed. Your bed? Yeah, you buy it, eh? Okay. So your wife wasn't cooking for you and seeing about your clothes and things for you to go to work to make the money to buy the bed. Stop and think.
That's right, yeah.
Stop and think. At that time I get damn vexed and I leave the room. Where you going? I'm going downstairs and sleep. Why? I said, well, I'll leave you in the room. I going outside.
Yeah.
Me putting you out. I'm not doing that.
Doesn't
I
make
put
any
myself
sense.
out. I go and cool myself.
Yeah.
But there's no need for that. I mean, that was 20 years ago. I was still when I was learning, the process of learning. Because even though you have title and degree and this and that, you're still learning it.
Of course.
That's why I tell people, if I meet you and I'm introduced to you and you say, I can't tell you nothing, you know more about me than sex, I bow to you. I bow to you because I learn it every single day.
Yeah. I'm always open up to brand new knowledge.
Of course.
It excites me, as a matter of fact.
In everything. That's why I like trivia.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you'll find me in my washroom with, you know, in my toilet are trivia books, you know. I'm telling you, I get a trivia pamphlet every 2 weeks from a company.
Yeah.
And that is what is loaded in my washroom. I read trivia. I don't need a cell phone in my toilet.
Right.
I read trivia and it entertains me.
I tell you.
And it is knowledge. I like factual things. That's why when you ask me about I realize that you know that. And those things are trivia,
Yeah.
right? Which is trivial knowledge about the moon affecting human beings.
Yeah.
But it is important to note these things. And that's why the old people used to talk in parables.
Yeah.
It was a lot of trivia they used to give it to you. They used to give you a lot of information. Maybe they weren't as educated as we are today, and they didn't know how to put it across. But when you listen to the things that they were saying then,
They set you up to go and search for the.
and when you apply it to today's living, you realize they were damn right.
Yeah, very spot on point. Yeah.
They were damn right. So, you have to embrace it. You have to work with it. You have to live it. You have to feel it. But no matter how much school you go to, how much university you go to,
Yeah.
how much degree you have behind your
You
name,
never know. You never know it all.
you never know it all. And my grandfather used to say the best thing. He said, "Could I have all the book sense in the world and you come and search, there's nobody here."
I tell you, that is a real statement. Factual all the way.
If you don't have common sense,
From-
all the capital, he used to say all the capital sense in the world,
Yeah.
they're going to help you.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
You need that common sense. You need to know how to apply what you know.
Yeah.
You need to know how to deal with individuals. You need to know how to deal with society. You need to know how to deal with your wife and your children. You need to know what to do. So that's why we have to examine ourselves all the time.
Right.
That's why when I come here and I sit and I talk about certain issues, the maxi taxi issue, I didn't have to bring it up, but it is a social issue and it is something affecting all of us. Because when I heard it, I cringe. I cringe. Because it is something that will, I don't know if I had a cousin on that maxi or a friend on that maxi or a friend child on that maxi. And if something had happened to him or her, how would I feel? What I would do afterwards, go and say condolences? How does that help the person? How would that help them?
Yeah.
When they have lost something or lost someone? Well, something you could replace,
Yeah.
or someone you can't replace. So I wonder how much times we think about the impact that it has on us. So that's why I bring it up in program. You know, I talk about all these social issues because I know how it affects the average man out there. You know. If the average man knows that the possibility of him being taken on his normal route, off his normal route, into a place where he has no protection, you think he's going to come by me to see me for treatment? No. You think he's going to come by you to buy doubles? No. You think he's going to go to a parlor or the road because he's fearful for his life? So those are the social issues we have to talk about.
Yeah.
And I know the impact that those social issues have on the psyche of individuals. I know about it only too well.
Yeah.
I'm well aware how it impacts on every single individual. So when we bring up things on this program, it's not because we want to be political. I don't want to be political. I want to see my country prosper.
Yeah.
I want to see my countrymen happy.
Yeah. And a nice frame of mind.
A nice frame of mind, laughing, and
Yeah.
you know, you meet somebody, give you a bongs.
Because the people who won that maxi, coming back to tight in the Sexplosion.
They can't be normal for the next month or 2 or 3 months.
I tell you.
They're not going to be normal. They're going to be fearful. They're not going to sleep properly.
Exactly. They don't feel
They will not eat properly. They're going to a state of depression. Nobody's going to help them. Nobody's going to say, "Come, let me give you psychiatric evaluation."
Imagine you're meeting and greeting with people every day normally, and that was not happening. When it happens, you're looking at every shadow now.
Everybody.
So you're bumming all the time.
You're not trusting your fellow man.
That's a serious impact on your health.
the psyche of the individual
yeah.
that affects you as a person.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you tell yourself, you know, and I'm saying this openly because I'm sure that I'm right. Because there are many times bulletins are sent out or warnings are sent out. A certain part of Trinidad, when you leave Port of Spain, do not drive there slow and don't stop.
Yeah.
I sure if I get a ticket for driving 110 in that area, no magistrate going to make me pay that.
That's right, yeah.
Because you've been warned not to drive slow there because people are spelting at your windshield.
Yes.
So I have to break the law to feel safe. Aren't we warned about that?
Exactly, yeah.
That stretch, when you leave Port of Spain, do not drive slowly, do not stop.
Even though you get that flat.
Don't drive, they just tell you drive with the flat to the nearest police post or whatever.
Yeah.
So if I speeding through there, you want me to stop? My wife, somebody threw something at her windshield, driving through there. A piece of wood.
My God.
But that is what the lawlessness is on. You know, by me. You know, I watch this, eh? And sometimes you just want to do things to prove a point. The municipal corporation put up signs, no vending. They put about 10 no vending signs. There's a certain stretch where people vend. And I understand why, because it's a safety hazard. Eh?
Dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what someone did? They left all the posts and broke off the sign. Everyone. And threw it in the canal.
Oh my God.
But there's one particular individual who I think may be responsible because they used to sell a certain product and they come back and sell. Now one day, if I was a wicked man, I would have stopped, pick up the product and say, go and report it to the police.
Yeah.
Tell them where you were selling.
Yeah.
Tell them where you were selling. I'll break any law, but you break any law. And these are the lessons we have to teach our people. You know. It doesn't make it right. Stop doing those things. And it's the little things like that. You know. That person who broke off the sign, gone away. The other person come back. The other person was given a verbal warning that I know. I don't know if a warning was given in writing, but the other person moved. The person who was vending moved until those signs were broke off. But as soon as the sign broke off, he came back. So me to say, you're responsible for breaking the sign too.
That's right. Exactly.
You broke those signs. But that's the lawlessness we have in society. People do those things. Now, every time I pass it irritates the shit out of me. Do you know why? I am trying to live a law-abiding life.
Yeah.
And here's this one individual breaking the law every single day in my face and telling me I could do this and get away with it.
Crazy.
How do you feel? It must irritate you.
Of course.
Because you are trying to live your life in a particular way, teach your children certain things.
Yeah.
And this person breaking the law in front of your face every day.
And the same people who are teaching like little children seeing it happen.
Seeing it.
I want to know what you telling me.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Don't do this. But look them doing it there.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Look, they're doing it. Because we learn by observation. So we need to, we as a people, if we want to fix the problems that we're facing, have to examine all these things and say, here what? Let's start fixing us first.
I tell you. Yeah. Yeah.
This Sunday, the Center of Excellence Car Park. Welcome to the Jamboree.
I know people who got robbed and thing, Raj.
The Sunshine Series.
Their whole sex life spoiled. The robbery was so traumatic that they're always frightened. They're always jumpy. They can't sleep. They're all kind of things they be doing. And the wife might be complaining or the man might be complaining. But that would be so traumatic, it really get into the system or not. The kind of things I see going on here, no.
The water Lord, I will George will be present. Performing for the parents and kids alike, Uncle Ziggy Franken and Uncle Sasha. Kids are $80, adults $120, and children under 2 years old enter free. Tickets are out, so get them now at Francis Fashion Shoe Locker, Porter Queen and Henry Street, Porter's Fan, Twin City Mall, Tulapuna and Arima, Burger King, Current, Larry's Fashion, Chihuahuas, Fats International, Arima and Twin City Mall, and at Blue 94's offices, 88 to 90 Abercrombie Street, Porter's Fan. Sponsored by VA, The Look Clothing Store, upstairs, Center City Mall, Chihuahuas, Blue Waters Cram Plus, Party Food Supermarket in Arima, Bees Homemade Ice Cream, Little Caesars Pizza, Cons Bike Soap, Burger King, Juicy and Paradrax. This Sunday.
Sunshine Cereal, Summer Kids Jamboree.
KFC original and spicy. I'll always crave you, but I need to taste something new. Then KFC brought me Colonel's barbecue. So sweet and smoky. I'm having a barbecue chicken affair. So sweet and smoky. KFC summer of flavor is here.
Cheat on your usual craving with the sweet and smoky combination of KFC's new Colonel's barbecue sauce. Flavor up your chicken, sandwiches, and spicy strips. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics. Enjoy classics from all the greats of Calypso: Sparrow, Stalin, Kitchener, Rodder, Shadow, Calypso Rose, and many more Calypso classics with Sir Charles. All the Calypso greats, Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. and only on Power 102. The power of Calypso.
Final. It's the final extension of Fabindia Expo. Definitely closing on Emancipation Day, Wednesday, August 1st. Everything selling at the most reasonable prices. Massive sales are on. Get up to 80% off. Spend $1,000 or more on Link Sport credit card for a chance to spin to win up to $500 instantly. There's something for everyone. We cater for the entire family. Ready-made garments, handicraft, footwear, jewelry, furniture, decorations, religious items, and much more available all under one roof. Don't miss out on this opportunity to visit the best of the best. Fabindia Expo at the White Tent opposite Medford Gas Station, Chihuahuas. No expo until Diwali. Final extension. Definitely closing on Emancipation Day, Wednesday, August 1st.
This is Power 102, empowering you.
And it is Sexplosion Thursday evening experience with Dr. Raj. Yeah, Doc.
Hi, Dr. Raj. Good job you're doing. My husband is diabetic. He's 63. His feet getting black and his waist down swelling. That man so hard. Raj, I fed up. And that's another thing. There are many times that persons have a problem and they don't take care of themselves. But you don't realize the impact that it have on others around you. Your children, your spouse, your loved ones, even your neighbors. Sometimes your neighbors are very concerned about you.
Some of your good friends too.
Well, don't talk about that. Your true friends, they feel the impact of your ill health and everything else. And they feel the impact of that and it affects them. So you have to take into consideration those things. You have a responsibility, everybody has a responsibility. You have a responsibility to yourself, first and foremost. You've given this great thing called life, and you have a responsibility towards yourself, but then you have a responsibility towards others.
Yeah.
Because you're the one who decided to have a wife or a husband. You're the one who decided to have children. You're the one who decided to make a friendship with somebody. You could have chosen not to. So the responsibility is there. And if you don't take care of that responsibility, or do all the things that are necessary to keep yourself happy and others happy, you're in serious trouble.
Exactly.
Serious trouble. And you find that a lot of times as adults, we don't pay attention to these little things the way we should. We don't deal with it the way we should. And you end up in problems. And anything that is going bad, especially with the human body, it does not correct itself unless you put the measures to correct it. Because if, based on your poor sleeping habits, you develop a disease, and you treat the disease, but you don't treat your poor sleeping habits by changing it, continue to have the same problem. There's going to be a recurrence of the problem. So, we have to examine these little things. Take, as I say, take the bull by the horn.
Yeah.
Take responsibility. Know what you are about, why you're behaving in a particular way. I mean, you have the criminal elements in our country has lost their way. They have no heart, they have no God, they have nothing. Because if you could go to a church or a temple or a mosque and rob people, you would know it's God.
So true.
It irritated me one day coming to do a program here, seeing a man stop by the cathedral there and peeing on the wall. That still irritates me to think that a man will disrespect a church and pee on a wall. I'm not a Christian,
Right.
but I respect the religion.
Yeah.
So you as an individual disrespecting that. So they have no heart. So you can't reach out to them. You have to reach out to the people who have a heart, the people who thinking still. And the first thing, what is the thing that people tell you now? Be safe.
Well, I've adopted that for a very long while, and I realize like it's catching on to everybody.
No, but that's the normal talk.
Yeah,
No,
that's what
be
you have to
safe.
saying. Be safe, be safe, be safe. That's all I tell people all the time.
Yeah. It's not like, hey, I'll go see you tomorrow. Eh?
Be safe. I'm hoping to see
I'm
you.
hoping to see you tomorrow. That's what you're
That
saying.
is the way we have to adjust to now, man.
But we shouldn't.
No.
And we shouldn't accept that. We should not accept that. As a people collectively.
There are places I used to go and look for friends and things, and I have some friends I haven't picked on there. Not long I haven't gone there. So now I try to explain to them why I'm bummy to come up there.
Because you are fearful for your own safety.
Yeah.
You driving there, you are a stranger to the area, you could lose your life. There are some places in Trinidad, I remember once some politician or somebody was saying there should be no place in Trinidad that another person cannot go to. But I wonder if they know what they were saying.
I mean, I'm not afraid to go, but it's a bummy feeling that takes me every time I have to go up there.
My wife recently realized that I just passed through a certain area with my friends, so by myself. It's a nice shortcut. And she said, "You just pass on the road?" I said, "Yeah, I'm not afraid of anything." She said, "Yeah, but something could happen."
I could tell.
I said, "It's possible."
Yeah.
I said, "But is this a force of habit? I pass through that road at normal. I pass through there normal. But it's something I have to check myself because now that she knows, she's fearful. So although you may say you're brave, and or you might tell yourself, well, you're not afraid, but there's somebody else who's worried. Because if I in that area, she will say, I wonder if you're passing through that street.
Yeah.
And what's going on? Because that street always in the news,
Of course.
Every week.
Yeah.
Every week. And once a week I pass through that street.
If I make mention to that to my daughter, she
Yeah,
crazy.
Worse.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't have that, well, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
That's what I tell you, the collective responsibility. So you as a man, you know the fellas on the block, a few of them you fast, you just heal them out or whatever. But if at that moment there's a shootout between one side and the next side, and you caught in the middle, what would happen? What they'll say? Innocent bystander?
The terms of that, Jesus.
Wrong place at the wrong time. That's what they always say,
When you think about who are walking around with these things in their waist and their strap.
Anybody?
I tell you, don't know.
Anybody had a dog?
Yeah.
I think the dog have one too. But some of them have a dog that look like a weapon, I am of the firm opinion that the people of this country have to change those things.
It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. And it acts up on your psyche. You know what I mean? That whole physical thing, it can have a serious effect.
But I know I understand the psychological impact it has on individuals and what it does to them, but it is affecting me now because I realize what is happening out there. It's my Trinbagonian brothers and sisters.
I tell you never thought. Well, growing up, I never thought.
No, we couldn't have that
Trinidad
thought.
would have ever been like this.
No, we couldn't
Trust
have
me.
that thought.
I thought this place would be just a
The paradise.
paradise, as we used to address it as forever. I never saw that
But
coming
you know
as
what?
radical as now.
But that's because we lost the vigilance. We lost the vigilance. But as I sometimes I'm angry with this radio station because this radio station just call upon some criminals to talk to.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
who vexed lost. But my opinion is that they should never be given a microphone after what they did to us. I'm serious about it. It might sound radical, but I'm very serious about it. So it irritates me sometimes when those persons are on this radio station. Because my first question to them, if I am sitting here, is, didn't you cause this? Weren't you part and parcel of this? What are you coming to say now?
And they cannot erase what
You cannot erase what you do. There's no amount of apology that is going to bring back the lives or whatever that was lost. So, the social and psychological, I'm not the only person who does think like that. So, all the men out there that are affected by that, or whatever else happened. And as you rightly say, a person who is robbed, raped, there are women out there who, after they finish a hard day's work, to make money to see about their children,
Yeah.
even if they see about themselves, and we can't vex for a woman to say about seeing about herself, you know,
No.
because we like women to look good.
That's right.
So if a woman is working out there to make she little money to go by the hairdresser or whatever, that's her prerogative. Why should she have to face a criminal element on her way back home? How fair is that? How fair is that?
It destroys not only the woman's
When you
psyche,
you have done something to her
but- yeah.
psyche, she now has a boyfriend, a husband, a lover, a common law partner, or whatever. That
Problems there.
she have to go to bed with, that she can't allow to touch her.
Imagine that.
So you're mashing up a family now. But that is godless people out there.
Yeah, especially in the instance of rape.
Well, that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
the worst.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, there's a Western movie, a new Western movie called Godless.
Yeah, I heard about
You
it.
should really watch that. It's a series.
Right.
Watch that.
Right.
Watch that. You'll see what godless is really about. Total godless. But that's what we face.
Yeah.
So when you have that social impact and that thing that has affected the psyche of the individual,
Yeah.
you know what it is every time your child, spouse, leave home, going out the road, you wondering, or you tell them, make sure when you reach you call me in.
Yeah. You hear that all the time now?
All the time.
Yeah.
Where are you? Who you with?
Call me when you reach.
Call me when you reach.
Yeah.
When you're leaving, call me.
Yeah, yeah.
You're hearing that all the time. Well, you know, there was a calypso in the 90s called Take the Number.
Yes. Scranton.
Well, I think everybody should just take a photograph of whatever car they're going into and send it to somebody.
Yeah. You know.
Automatically, you know.
Well, I told you.
And the driver, you know.
I told you I'm a taxi, so one time I picked up a young lady. During the daytime, I picked up this young lady to go San Fernando. And the people who were with her were snapping behind. So I said, oh. She said, no, they're just taking your car number. So if it's one car, you're safe, it's mine.
Yeah.
Only if somebody in the car should do something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. But I appreciated that too.
No, what
yeah,
of
take
course.
my number.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, take my number.
Yeah.
Take my number.
Because should something happen, you were the last person she was seen with.
That's right, yeah.
And you would have to answer. Once you have a legitimate answer for the question that
Yeah.
is posed to you,
Yeah.
you have nothing to worry about.
You know, at night times especially, I think when I job with young ladies or women, and
I make sure they open the door.
yeah, me too.
I stop by your gap,
Yeah.
or
Make
if
sure
I
you
drop
get
in
into the gate, the
I make
door.
sure you open your gate, you go inside and you open your door and you get inside.
Yes,
I will not drive off unless I see that.
I don't feel comfortable just driving off at all.
But you see, you're a gentleman. That is why. No, you're a gentleman.
I can't do that at
There are
all.
fellas who will drop you there. I see men that drop off person there, and they have to cross,
Yeah.
and they're stopping for them to cross. They drive off.
Yeah. I can't. But you know, all of that impacts on your behavioral pattern as from there on.
Of course.
You know, I mean, you jump
Of course.
here, boom here. It's not easy to go through.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And we should not be living like that. And we have persons who compounded their problems with something like that happening to them. Some trauma.
Yeah. I believe that.
Like, you remember a time I think it was last week, we were talking about traffic trauma?
Yeah.
That's another trauma.
Another trauma.
Traffic trauma.
Yeah. When you get home, you just want
You're
to
irritable.
take a shower and drop on that bed.
You're irritable.
Yeah.
You can't even eat properly. Your stomach in turmoil. You cannot function normal.
It's true.
Therefore, what happens?
Take a serious toll on you,
You're listening to Power 102.
Final. It's the final extension of Bobby.
Now, there are some people, I have a partner who used to say,
Emancipation Day.
he find his work nights, he's work plenty nights, 11 to 7 hour kind of thing. He said, boy, when I come home, the best sex side has happened when I come from work, boy. As compared to if he's home, take a sleep, and or have sex and then go to bed. He find like when he comes from work, he tells me, boy, I just had the best sex when I come from work. So I said, oh, you tired, you beat out whole night, you sleep all night. How that can be the best? We can think of that.
I will want to know how true it is.
Yeah, that's what he said, but I can't prove how true it is because, you know, not to say I the next room to hear beating on the wife. But he didn't say that. He said, boy, and I work, especially 11 to 7.
It is possible, depending on what the level of his work is and his rest during work.
Oh.
And then his age is another factor. And then how long it will last for.
Yeah, because
Remember, every human being different. You know?
exactly, boy, exactly. It's true. So true, boy.
This is Power 102. Empowering you.
And you listen to this explosion. With Dr. Raj and yours truly. Now, Dr.
So we're
Raj,
back?
yes, we're back inside. So when all these traumatic experiences take a hold on people and it takes an impact, or it creates some kind of a negative impact on their love life and by extension their sex life, can people come to you for that kind of treatment?
We
How
deal
do you
with
deal with
deal with things of a psychological nature because that's part of counseling. The impact that it has on individuals in their relationship, the things that are traumatic to them. There are some things at a certain level we can deal with, even in the instances of molestation or rape. I deal with all that. Sometimes it's a bit deep, sometimes it's too deep, and they need to be referred to someone else, and that's another thing that we do. Because I don't hog the limelight and hog the patient. If they have to move on to a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, a hypnotist, whatever, we put them onto that.
Right.
And there are some individuals who come and they have a serious spiritual problem, and I tell them they need to find spiritual help. I'm not going to hold on to you and try to make money off of you if I can't help you.
Yeah, that's not right.
No, it's not right. So if it's of a spiritual nature and you think somebody put a zombie on you or whatever, you have to find the appropriate person to do that. Because if mentally you're thinking that is what someone has done to you, I can't help you. No amount of tablet I give you will help you. You have to be satisfied that whatever needs to be done, whichever Obeah man or priest or pandit or whoever you have to go to.
Yeah.
Right? I had a woman call me recently and She was talking about somebody do her bad and whatnot, and how it was. I can't remember the exact details. And I asked her, well, what religion are you? And she told me she was Roman Catholic. And I said, well, go talk to your parish priest. That's the person who has to help you. And if you strongly believe somebody did that to you, maybe you'll find solace there. Maybe you'll find something to overcome the fear that you have within you. There, I can't give you that. I'm not going to sit down there and wave a magic wand and say the zombie gone.
Yeah.
The zombie might be real or it might be in your mind. I don't know.
There are some people who exorcise money from people.
I don't exercise money. I like that. I ain't doing that one. I'm not pretending to do that one at all.
No, it doesn't make any sense. You're playing with the fire there too.
Well, again, the godless person will do that because they have no fear of God. They have no fear.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think God is to be feared. God is to be embraced and loved, but they have no fear of the action or the consequences of the actions. So they're godless.
Yeah.
You know? Because no way in my religion teach you to fear God. That's not our word you use. So we don't fear God, in whatever form or fashion.
Yeah.
But you know the consequences of your actions. Anything that you do have consequences. Therefore, that's the fear that you have. Your own actions will bring across certain results.
Yeah.
I could have chosen a life of banditry, drug running. I could have chosen anything. When you were growing up, you had choices.
Yeah, of course.
Many choices. It wasn't presented in your face, but you could have gone and look for it. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
But you choose to do what you choose to do. You choose to become who you choose to become.
Exactly.
Everybody have choices.
Yeah.
So don't tell me circumstances make you do that. And that is the excuse
A
you
lot of
use.
people use excuses.
Not that the excuse you use,
Yeah,
that the circumstance make you do that.
Raj, tell me something. There are some people who how should I say, athletic. Some people who just like the gym. Some people just work out.
I know some people like gym and they're having no sex, eh?
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's where I'm going. The people who like the gym freaks.
Gym, yeah. They burn their sexual energy in the gym.
Yeah.
That's why they go to the gym.
Explain that. That's what I'm trying to ask you.
I know that. You have a thing called a sex drive, and you have an energy that comes with it. If you refocus that energy on something, some other aspect of your life, for example, gymming, the gym testosterone level have to be at a certain level for you to be successful at whatever you're doing in the gym. If you spend a lot of time in the gym doing that, as opposed to using it for what it was meant to be, which is sex, you burn it off there.
What happens to you physically?
It
Is it
affects
good?
you.
Is it bad?
It cannot be good.
All that is where I'm going with this question.
What the good Lord has given us, the talents, the drive, the feelings, is to be used in. How you choose to use it is up to you. But it has to be used. You can't take a fork to pick up soup. You're going to fail.
Nice analogy.
You're going to fail.
Yes.
Use a spoon to eat soup.
Yeah.
Very same thing. You can't burn your sexual energy in one area and it's not going to affect you in another area.
Why I'm going down?
It is going to affect you mentally,
Yeah,
first and foremost.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
First and foremost, it's going to affect your mental stability, your mental health, because you are still going to be frustrated at some point and it's still going to attack you because it's the natural behavior of you as a human being. Yeah, you were going to say something.
Yeah, so these people go to the gym. You might hear a woman might say, "Jeez, see that my body boy, I'm looking real good." I might see a woman and say, "My God," I have some terms that I use to describe. I don't just go and lost down the place, if you understand.
Yeah, but
there's something looking good. You know, the man in me will come out.
Of course.
You know, so I would say, "Wow, she had the bacchanal and she business."
Right.
I would say that I mean everything what I saw there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those people are very difficult to even
approach.
or make some kind of a statement that will send a message to them and say, probably like how they look.
Because they have no interest in what you think about them. Well, the only thing we want to know is that they're looking nice for you. They're looking nice.
Yeah.
Or they're looking good. They have a good gym body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But other than that, they may not be interested in sex.
So people
or
like
relationship. There are a lot of persons who gym and they're very selfish, you know. Even when they go in the gym, they're talking to nobody in gym.
I've noticed that.
But I'm telling you that I go to the gym every morning,
Yeah.
and there are some persons there you can't even tell them good morning because they wouldn't answer you. And they pretend that they have on headphones and whatnot, but I have a good voice.
Yeah,
like if I tell you good morning, you know I tell you good morning.
Even though you have on headphones, you will hear.
But if I watch you in your face and tell you good morning,
Yeah.
and you watch me in my face and continue walking,
Yeah.
but I will not stop telling you good morning.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get into your pants by telling you good morning. I tell you good morning because I have good manners.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
But
right.
I know you are a selfish person.
Yeah,
Because a lot of persons in the gym are very selfish. They only care about themselves.
And how they look.
And how they look. And
But I
every
thought-
day they come with a different outfit. And they're not going in the gym to work out.
But
I have
thought-
been in the gym
Yeah.
for years and I use the same outfit. Now I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I have three pants.
Yeah.
Well, of course, when one dirty, you change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have 3 pants and 5 tops. And a jacket that goes over it, so you don't know what I have underneath. And that
Right.
jacket, I have 2 jackets, one black, one white.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have not a fashion statement for me.
So what's the idea behind looking so good to create that sex appeal? And
Well, it's ego. That's not sex appeal.
it's ego.
That's not sex appeal. That is ego. I must look good and you must want me, but you can't have me. So it's my ego.
Isn't that
I have
crazy?
you going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have that man stupid boy. But that any man really not on you?
It's true. Yeah.
The man not on you?
Especially if he finds out that that's the kind of attitude.
But you just know the attitude, you see the attitude,
Yeah.
the psychology behind it. You know the attitude.
Yeah.
You know that is what the person is doing. Like there's a comment about this particular person. Everybody, all the instructors are wanted about this particular person. They say she hard to get boy.
Yeah.
I say that is because they're trying to get you.
That's right. Yeah.
And
It's
she
so
knows
true.
that?
That is true.
So she cut in style on all of you.
Yeah.
They say, so what to do? I say, well, just leave her alone and ignore her, you'll see. She'll start looking for your attention.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want. She wants attention. But everybody's showing her attention, so she cut in style.
Have you ever had any experiences where these people with the goody bodies and these guys with this real masculine sort of? Have you ever had any experience where people say, well, he just looking so, she just looking, them ready.
You really don't know my history.
Well, I'm just.
Do you know I had the #1 gym in Trinidad?
Is that right?
Do you know I trained the best bodybuilders in this country?
Yeah.
You don't know that, eh?
No.
Oh, well,
News.
I'm telling you.
But were there ever any complaints from people that,
Of course.
man,
Well, that's the point I'm leading up to. My gym.
are you
Magdalene,
killing me today?
my gym won every competition in the world. You know.
Is that right?
You ever heard of Darren Charles?
Yes, of
I
course.
created Darren Charles, you know, from a skinny little boy to what he is today.
I tell you, ranking among the best in the world.
I created him from nothing. From nothing. I had the 10 top bodybuilders in this country, 6 male and 4 female. We won every competition in the world.
Right.
I trained the strike squad, you know. Brian Lara,
Yeah.
Rajendra Dhanraj,
Yeah.
Renrick Bishop, Maxwell Cheeseman,
Yeah.
Farmer Jimmy Joseph.
You're talking about superstars here, man.
I trained these people, you know. I had the #1 gym. So I know all the egos and I know all the behavior and I know everything that goes on there. I know who used to come there looking for man and who used to come there looking for woman and who used to come there just looking good.
Yeah.
I used to know who was a waste of time because somebody, you see, he can't do nothing. I know who had bitch tits and who didn't have bitch tits. I know who had taken excessive amount of testosterone by using steroids and who wasn't using it. I had the only drug-tested event ever in the Caribbean because they used to accuse my bodybuilders of using drugs.
Yes.
And I brought down the #1 lab, the Bob Goldman lab. I brought that to Trinidad, tested my bodybuilders. And every one of them was clean. You know what they say after that? Raj know how to hide it. Very satisfied.
You play Russian?
Yeah. You know what to do to hide it.
Yeah.
But I always believe in the natural way.
Yeah. Me too.
I trained RM Charles on natural ways, strictly natural. I'm not saying there wasn't bodybuilders who come who was using steroids.
What happened to relationships where something like that might attract and encourage a relationship, and at that point, the person finds out what happened?
Disappointment.
Is there a total breakdown?
No disappointment, and then you'll wean yourself off of the person. We wean ourselves off a thing.
Yeah.
Just as how we try to assert ourselves on something or someone. We wean ourselves off it when we realize it's a failure and it doesn't live up to our standard. It's like buying a nice car.
Yeah.
Right? But when you sit down in it, when you kind of showroom, it have a nice smell and a nice feeling.
Yeah.
But after you buy it and you start driving it and you realize you sit uncomfortable and thing, you look to get it right, you sell it after a time.
That's right, yeah. It's true.
You realize it is not, the physical beauty of the vehicle is not really what it is.
What happens to those people, sir, who you wean yourself off?
What happens to them?
Yeah, they just live normal?
Yeah, some of them live normal because they live with the fact that I am who I am, and to us was it that? Or another thing is that, hey, I'm going on to my next conquest. They want you to win yourself off of them.
Yeah.
Because they're going on to the next conquest.
Right, yeah.
But when somebody, coming back to the gym, when somebody goes to the gym, you know, as a fashion statement, every day they have a new outfit, a new sneakers, or this or that.
We said
They're there for ego. They're there for ego. They're not there to do what they're supposed to do. They're always watching in the mirror and always posing and like ego.
Right.
I'm watching who watching them and cutting style. Like ego. That's not, there's a camaraderie that builds. One of the things people used to say about my gym, the name of the gym was Apollo Gym and Fitness
I
Center.
know that gym.
Who wouldn't know that gym? That was my gym.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Was the camaraderie we had. Everybody will look out for everyone else. When we go to competition, everyone looks out for one another.
Right.
Even if I had two persons in the same weight class, they would help each other.
That's nice.
Because we build that camaraderie, that family unit, and how we did it on weekends. We'll go to excursions together. We'll go to the river, make a cook. We'll have cricket match behind in Trinity Mall.
Right.
So we continue that camaraderie. Everybody would be saying hello to one another. They come, they're doing classes together. Now, it doesn't mean to say somebody attracting somebody. That would happen by normal human behavior.
Natural. Yeah, that's natural. Yeah.
But we always try to maintain that camaraderie all the time. There were people who were in my gym. As a matter of fact, one person died recently. And I went to the funeral. Because the camaraderie is still there.
Yes.
So you understand?
Yeah, does it assist people in their sex drive and stuff?
They work out? Of course. Only two things build testosterone. Sleep, night rest, night sleep, and working out. But if you have low levels of testosterone and you go and work out, you're doing yourself a disservice because you don't have the testosterone to help you with your workout.
Oh.
So you'll be burning up testosterone. You have to have good levels and whatnot for that to maintain.
So sweet men will just be spinning up in mud?
Some of them do. Some of them go and take steroids. And steroids is not a good thing to use.
Dangerous.
It attacks, it damages your liver and your kidney and your heart. You could get tumors from it. Your body don't know how to assimilate it properly.
Right.
And most of the times when these guys using steroids, it is animal steroids that they're buying illegally.
When you say animal steroids, Raj, you have to
steroids.
break down things for people out there. No?
Yeah, well, I'm glad that's your job, to ask the question.
Yes.
Because I'm talking.
Yeah.
So if you ask the question, we help them out there.
I have a million questions.
The animal steroids are the steroids that are used to treat animal with injuries or for it to run faster or perform better. So the animal steroids are not meant for human consumption. So it's injected into horse and dogs and other animals, cattle and whatnot. But human beings use it because it's a form of steroids that they're getting. Steroids was invented after World War I, you know. to help with the recuperation of soldiers who were injured in the war. Because remember, Germany fought that war, both wars, they fought both wars. And steroid was invented in Germany. So when they went back to their homeland and whatnot, because Germany had some of the best doctors and researchers in the world.
Still do.
They still do.
Yeah.
So they researched and they got all these things and they started doing steroid treatment on their wounded soldiers to help with recuperation, only to realize that human beings could use this to enhance their body parts.
I tell you.
So eventually it was used by athletes to perform well, and they still do. And there isn't one country that is innocent of that.
It's true.
You can't tell me that if the average speed of a man to cross a distance, I don't want to pinpoint anybody, is that, let me use a figure, 9, and a man go 8.7, that ain't happening naturally. There's no way it's happening naturally. The body could only take so much and do so much. There are some people who are born to do certain things. There are some people who are gifted. Yes, they don't need to use anything. But what about the guy who gets against that person and want to do what that person is doing? He has to do something to enhance his body to do that.
Right.
I remember there was a guy called Patrick Nichols. Well, he's a bodybuilder from Barbados. He used to live in England. And we had a meeting once in one of the Caribbean islands, and he was telling me of some of the super athletes that we were all cheering for in the 80s and 90s, who were there doing the same thing that he was doing. And he called them by name, and after one Olympics, one of them was called out for doing it, but the fellow who they passed the medal on to, he was doing the same thing.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And this is what was told by persons who were there. But the point is that there are certain things that you could do. Okay, for example, if you have a torn muscle and you wanted to recuperate faster, you have to use some sort of steroid or steroid injection. That's why even cricket, there are certain tablets and fellas and can't take it.
Right.
They can't. There are certain cold tablets you can't take it and go and perform in a sport, because they're testing for everything now.
Yeah.
But the point is that now that is one of the reasons that one of the cricketers was banned recently for a year, because you're supposed to inform the drug testing unit anywhere you are at any time, because they can come and test you any day and any time.
Random testing.
Random testing.
Yeah.
But those are athletes and super athletes and people representing their country and their franchise and whatnot. But the guy who go into the gym to look good, want to look buff, he using the drugs without any care for it. I tell people bodybuilding is supposed to be the healthiest sport in the world. I used to tell my bodybuilders, the only sport that is recognized by any human being is bodybuilding. If you're a cricketer, how do I know you're a cricketer? Unless you hold a bat in your hand or a ball.
That's right.
If you're a footballer, how do I know you're a footballer? Unless you have on cleats and you're kicking a ball. I don't know what you're doing. But a bodybuilder, for example, what you know is a bodybuilder.
Yes, it's true.
You wear your sports.
Yeah.
It's the only sport you wear. You wear your sports every single day, 24/7.
Yes,
a
it's
bodybuilder.
True. The moment you
So I just tell my
know.
bodybuilder, this is the healthiest sport in the world. Why are you putting drugs in your body? Why? Why are you doing that? The healthiest sport in the world, and you want to use drugs? Isn't that a madness?
I used to go by a gym one time, and I know other guys who I see them taking this and taking
Yeah, God, and they had the doctor. It always have a doctor in the gym.
So I love quick. I said, David, you're so mad, you never get that. But when I do so, I had all the natural cuts and things with them dying.
Striation.
And all I was mad, I did gym instructor. I say, if there's one thing, you have some good cuts on your body, but I not taking anything. You're crazy. I was afraid that they kill me. I said, if I take this steroid thing, and they had so many different types. You don't know which one is working for you, or no doctor and recommending anything. But if just going by the pharmacy.
But it's the same thing when you're going by the pharmacy and you're buying a sex pill. How are you going to know what's working for you?
I always repeat that time I went into Bagas that, but I hear these people discussing the blue or the other one.
Or the yellow.
Yeah.
A lady just sent a message. She went to a pharmacy and a 17-year-old asked him for the blue pill.
I tell you, when I cash my stuff at her. I thought it was big men and it's 2 young boys. I said, but what the hell going on here?
Correct?
Oh boy. I tell you. Well, Raj, we've come to another.
The end of
to
another
the end
program.
of another exciting one.
Must say to-
Highly informative. Highly informative.
I see you get to learn a little bit about me also.
Yeah. Well, I'm a kind of person like that. I get attached to people by,